Swiss Chalet's festive special is back. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. It's a tradition truly worth sharing. The festive special, only at Swiss Chalet.
Good afternoon, everyone. Shawn Joyce with you here live from the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel. Opening round action here. Round robin play, 24 teams playing in 4 pools of 6. Just underway here in the first end. We've got Krysta Burns versus Elizabeth Cousins here in this opening round matchup. This is out of Pool A. 2 teams, as always in these events, have a practice session before the game starts and throw draw to the button to determine who's got last rock in the opening end. And it was the Burns team winning the draw to the button. They've got last rock here, throwing the red stones. The lead for the Burns team, Laura Masters. Second is Sarah Guy. The third, Justin Murphy, who doesn't appear to be here for this game. And the skip in the house, Krysta Burns. Looking to come around the corner guard. It'll just chip off, roll to a center. The no-tick rule, as always, in effect here as well. So they do have to be a little bit careful coming around that. Second stones now. This is Allison Howell. The lead is Elizabeth Janiak. The third, Anne-Marie Duberstein. And I apologize if I've mispronounced that. And the skip in the house, Elizabeth Cousins. We're looking to come around the redstone, going to crash on it, and it actually pushes it off the line. And I don't know if anybody realizes that's still the 5th stone. They're talking about it now and counting. That stone goes back, and the shooter should be removed from play. Always good to confuse everybody in the first end of a of a new event. First end, first game, fifth stone. We've got our first violation of the no-tick zone. With last rock here in the opening end, Burns would like to keep the play away from the center line, so she's going to opt to try again to get around that corner guard. I stand corrected. We're a little later getting started than I thought. I thought we were still looking at the first end. This is the home end, actually. We missed the first. So it was Cousins picking up a single point in the first end. That is why Burns has the last rock here as we play in the second. Still working on getting our graphics up and running as well. Looking again to try to come around the red center guard. They've got room by the guard this time now. How far back can they bring it? They'll get it into the top of the forefoot, and it is slightly overburied on the red guard. Krysta Burns looking at the run back. Saragai attempting the hit. The first indication is the weight's a little strong, but this is curling. Has to stay ever so slightly on the high side. This is going to overcurl. Will it still make contact? Just touches it. Enough to pull it out in the open, push it out in the open, but it is still shot rock. Cousins sits one and is going to look to come around again. Nothing out of the brushers. This one might be a little deep. Slides through the rings and all the way out of play at the back. Saragai will get another chance to make a play on shot rock, this time sitting open in the back of the 8-foot. Try to roll behind cover. Makes the hit, but stays right there, so another chance for Anne-Marie Duberstein to get under cover, this time with the hit and roll. That shot stone's right on the tee line, so she just rolls in behind the blue stone, probably still in front of the tee line. If she rolls over all the way behind the red, she might be back tee. She does not look happy with this throw. might have been better off to sweep that by so they don't make contact at all. As it is, they rub that stone in behind cover. It is in the back 4 foot, but buried. Burns sits 2 and a chance to come around, try to sit 3 here in this first end. Although she does not have last rock, she'd be in a good position to steal. Nice line coming by the guard. This is also in danger coming back of the tee, though. Just behind the tee. Enough room there for Elizabeth Cousins to try to come down on top of it and get herself out of a little trouble here in this first end. Pardon me, second end. She does have the 1-point lead after picking up the single in the first, but in some danger of giving up perhaps as many as 3 here in the second. She'd come right down and freeze to it, though. She's in a spot where she could steal. Got great line coming by the guard. The question is, can they bring it all the way down, get to shot rock? It's into the 4 foot. It's got a piece of the button. Might have overcurled just a little bit. I think it's still Burns sitting shot at the back of the button, but that stone just delivered by Elizabeth Cousins is second. And it's going to be very difficult for Krysta Burns to do much about that. Talking about putting one just fully open in the 8 foot where she could probably angle it in with her last one. Put this in a good spot, and Elizabeth Cousins likely has to throw a guard. Then you have a decision to make whether or not you want to play the angle run in or not. Rusher's staying close. This is really curling towards the guard. They would like to keep this out in the open if they get by. Might be better off to chip the guard out of the way now. Rubs off the guard, does take away any kind of draw path towards the button right now. Elizabeth Cousins thinking about the run back. doesn't want to risk running the red guard in towards her blue stone. If you ever just hit half and peeled it out, there might be a shot there for 2 or 3. So she's going to try the wide out turn draw. Not sure if it can get there or not. But you have to think she's thinking, well, there's no risk playing this. We get to touch that blue stone. It doesn't need to move very far, and it would be shot rock. But the blue stone she's trying to touch, the second shot at the top of the button, completely overburied on the blue guard that she needs to come around. Brusher's just cleaning it early. They're going to have to play tight by that guard if they're going to make this. Line looks good coming by. Now the question is there enough finish to touch that blue stone? You know, she gave it a pretty good run. I don't know that it was there. Now by biting the forefoot like that, though, it makes the angle run in a lot riskier. There might be a port for the draw. It's a skinny port. That's all she's got left, so that's what Krysta Burns is going to play. To just look through there doesn't look like there's enough room, but if you get between the two guards, it's going to curl before it gets to that rock in the 12-foot. Needs about half a rock in the button here to count the second point. She'll have to put this right on the tee line, and if it's dead buried, it'll be close. Makes the port, but it's going to be just a little bit strong. It'll slide through the house and out the back. Put a point on the board for Krysta Burns here in the second end of play, and we're all tied up after 2. You're watching the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel. My name's Shawn Joyce. We'll be back for the second end right after this.
Hey Canada, head on down to Montana's for our 50-day aged 7-ounce sirloin flame grilled with 2 sides and onion rings, all for just $25.99 every day. Premium steak without a premium price, only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Spiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Third end action here from the North Bay Granite Curling Club. Tied up as we begin play here in the third. It's Elizabeth Cousins with last rock. Center guard thrown up to start this third end. The come-around attempt you're just seeing now here comes to the top 12. Just fully open. Krysta Burns asking Laura Masters to make a play on that stone, and hard to tell from that camera angle. She might, if she hits it right on the nose, she might still be in the free guard zone after this is done. We'll have to see where it comes to rest. Any kind of roll at all, though, and I think she'll be in the rings. This is still well on the outside. Barely going to make contact. Enough to just get it through the rings and all the way out of play. The shooter rolls out as well. So still just the one guard in play. Another come-around attempt for Elizabeth Janiak, just a little short on the last one. Like to get into the full 8, maybe even bite the 4-foot. This one's a long ways out, though. We'll get full 8-foot, might even just have bit the edge of the 4, but well out into the open. Another chance for Laura for the hit. She'll be trying to roll underneath this time, and early the brusher has switched to the offside, so this might have been a little full. Running very straight again. Makes the hit. We'll keep the shooter in play this time, edge of the 12-foot. Burns sits 1. Cousins going to ignore it and try the come around one more time. This has better line coming by. Realizing it's going to be behind the tee line, they decide to bring it back. Still hangs on to a bite of the back 4-foot. Almost curled completely out in the open. Sarah will make an attempt at it with quiet weight. Might like to roll under cover here. You roll away, you're in good shape to get the force, but if you can roll under, possibility of a steal. If you can force Elizabeth Cousins to play the freeze, at the very least you've really cut down the house, but this in danger of not getting by the guard. And quite light. Shooter actually rolled over to protect half of that stone at the back of the 4-foot. So another chance for the come around, although the guard's a little bit farther over now, and if she can get this into the top 8 behind the guard, she'll have some protection for that stone at the back 4-foot as well. Brushers were both down early. Now I see the arms go up from the thrower. That's maybe an indication that there's still a lot of room. Doesn't look like they really ever needed to go for weight either. Maybe a slight misjudgment on the sweep call on that one. Comes down to the top 4-foot, and it is just fully open. There's probably room there to get to the nose, make the double on the 2 blue stones. Might even be able to get just a hair low, roll underneath, and still make contact with the second blue one. quiet weight again on this hit. It's going to be tough to make the double here. Should make contact with both. The top blue stone jams pretty solidly on the back one and just rolls to the 8 foot, about the 5 o'clock position. Burns sits 1. Anne-Marie Duberstein, chance to make the hit and roll behind the corner guard this time. Try to keep the play away from the center. And this one is really curling. They've got to be careful not to over curl and jam it on their back when they do manage to hold the nose. Drives it by the blue stone at the back 8. Cousins sits 2. The double would be tough now. Looks from this camera angle like she can just see maybe a sliver to the inside of that stone at the top 8. And she's got to get across the face to catch the second one. Even if she just gets across the face enough to just roll under the guard, that's probably enough to at least touch the second stone, and that might make her shoot or shot rock. This is close to the center line, though, when she lets go. Well, line's holding nicely. Oh, they're going to let this over curl, I think. Nope. She does stay dead in behind the guard, and with that weight, enough to get rid of both of them. Great shot by Sarah Guy. Burns sitting 2 and shot rock covered. Cousins thinking, well, it looks like we're going to get forced, so let's see if we can't get 2. He's going to try to come around the corner guard. Can still get shot rock around the corner. This is still on the guard on the shot stone. He's going to hit it actually fairly thick now. Might have pushed it enough that they've got a port to get through to shot. You'd have to throw some weight through that port. Krysta Burns looking at the come around. Blue stone that was just delivered. Got a piece of the center line. She could get to the top button here and be covered. Had to wait for the line, but it's curling now. Just be a question of how deep this ends up. All on its own, it will grab a corner of the button. Burns sitting 3 for now. Elizabeth Cousins looking to come down, sit right on the corner of the stone that was just thrown. Might have to move it a little bit to get shot rock. Has to be careful, though. If she throws the weight to move it, she can't afford to bounce out into the open. Nothing out of the brushers yet. Again, cannot afford to bounce here. This has got a lot of weight. I don't know if she's going to touch shot rock. She does, just moves it a little bit, and her shooter will go all the way through the back and out of play. Burns continues to sit 3. You could try to bring another one in. But if you just plug that hole, I'm not sure how you don't steal. Biting the 12-foot's fine if you're plugging the hole. That's what they're looking at now. Not sure if you plug this drop board, I'm not sure what Elizabeth Cousins has left. I mean, there's the wide out-turn draw to give up a steal of 1. She'd have to get close to the 4-foot. That's a tough shot. She could hit the open stone on the edge of the 12-foot and try to roll in. Still tough. She's not scoring with that. She might be able to hold you to 1 if she can roll all the way into the 4-foot. Critical here, you don't any more than just bite the top 12. You don't want to leave this in a spot where she could hit it and cut you to 1. Line looks good. It does end up half in the 12-foot. Cousins is looking at the port. It's probably there. You can make the port, play the double, but if you don't make the port, you're probably giving up 4. You got to throw some weight to hold the line when you're between those 2 guards. She's looking at the wide in-turn draw. Again, there's no shot to score there. It's a question of just trying to hold them to 1. It looks to me like the out turn through the port to make the double is there. Probably looks like it to her too, but do you want to play that in the third end of your first game when you've got to throw some up weight to make the port? They probably haven't thrown anything like that in practice, so it's going to be a guess how much it's going to move. This is not an easy draw just to give up 1 either. I have to admit, I'm really not familiar with this team. If you can throw the up weight, it would be tempting to throw the port. Just put the broom in the middle of the rock, throw it hard enough to take the curl out of it. This is a tough draw just to give up 1. And you're wide enough that the speed's likely different here. Takes a little bit more ice, but she's going to stick with the draw attempt. Heavy on her first, facing 4 here with her second. Needs to put it right on the tee line, get a bite of the 4-foot just to hold Krysta Burns to a steal of 1. Rushers like it early. They pick it up right away. This is really curling. I don't think she's getting by the red one, and if she's got enough weight to make the rings, this could be 5. She'll touch it, will not move it all the way into the rings. It's a steal of 4 here for Krysta Burns in the third end. She jumps out to a 5-1 lead after 3 ends of play. Elizabeth Cousins will have last rock again in the fourth.
Swiss Chalet's festive special is back. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. It's a tradition truly worth sharing. The festive special, only at Swiss Chalet.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
Big steal of Krysta Burns, a 4 for Krysta Burns in the third end, so she's got a 4-point lead as we begin play here in the fourth. They did throw the center guard up to start the end, and it looks like it's touching the center line, so it's in the no-tick zone. Elizabeth Cousins had the opportunity there, could have called for the corner guard. She elects to come right into the top of the forefoot around the center. Krysta Burns will ask for the freeze now. Looks like nice line coming in. Not a lot on the brush yet. Laura Masters, nice draw. Puts it right on the face of that blue stone. Moves it back a few inches. Cousins now asking Janiak to come around from the out-turn side, try to sit on the corner of the red. Playing this end without any corner guard, she really needs to get a good angle set up here. Line is close if it'll stop in time, but looks like this might be just a little bit heavy. It's going to bounce off the red stone. Sits on the corner of the blue, actually. Stone that was just delivered, probably about 2/3 open. Laura Masters is able to get close to the nose here. She could probably make the double. Certainly can move both of them. Got a lot of room by the guard. They're sweeping for curl now. She makes contact. Drives the back blue out. Shooter rolls across on the shot stone, the blue stone that stays in play. Spins out to be fully open now. It does have a piece of the button. Allison Howell now trying the out-turn come around. Corner freeze would give her a good angle, but she's probably only fourth shot if she does that. I think if she comes behind the red stone, though, she might leave a double. Brusher's picked it up at about the halfway point. You can see Allison still thinks it's got lots of room. You know, I think they kind of got caught in between there. It's a little bit strong. They didn't want to bounce off the red. They thought they could come by it, but it doesn't stop in time when they do that. So it sits in the back of the 12. It is fourth shot for now. Shot stone on the corner of the button is accessible. And room for Sarah Guy to try to roll behind cover. Line's close. Needs to finish just a little bit more to get the roll behind. She's got the hit. She'll roll probably half to 2/3 in behind cover. That's a pretty good result. Burns sits 3. Cousins in trouble looking at her 3 options. In turn around, maybe make the double on the reds. Out turn around just to tap back the shot rock. She also considered the run back on the guard. Looks like they're going to stick with the out turn draw. This will be close to the same weight they just had. She'll just try to tap back that shot stone behind the tee line and sit in front of it somewhere. One brush down early again. Allison Howell suggesting this has got a lot of room. It's closer to the weight she needed on the first one, though. It will come down, rub the second shot stone, and just sits directly in front of shot. Not seeing anything other than the straight guard here myself. That's what they're looking at now. They don't want to be, you come right down on top of it, you just cue it up. Ends up on the center line, staggers the 2 guards. Cousins looking at her options again. They could try that same out turn again. Could probably get to it with just a heavy draw. Could double peel the guards. It might come back and actually make contact with the 2 in the button area. She's got a shot on the in-turn side as well, red onto red, but you've got to just pass it by the blue stone. It's awfully risky. They're going to stick with the same draw. Anne-Marie Duberstein now on the attempt. She's going to have to be tight by the guard this time. Looking to have enough weight to move it. This might be a lot of weight. She just needed a heavy draw, and this is firm hack. Goes by everything. Has to be tempting if you're Krysta Burns to throw one more guard out a little wider, because I think that shot they just attempted is there with the right weight. That is what they're going to play here, just a wider guard. Well, good job by the brush to bring that in close enough to the center that it probably takes away the path. Cousins is looking at red onto the blue, I believe. So it'll be thin on the first red. Nope, she is looking at driving it by. So just get it by the blue. Clip the shot stone out of the side of the button. You can make the double here. You're sitting shot probably third and fourth. You'd be in a great position. If you're just a little thin on the first one, though, it will pick that blue stone off the top of the 4-foot. Thought she might look at hitting the red really thin and then try to catch the blue double. This is all over the guards, though. She could get something out of this, though. Brings that second red guard back into the house, makes contact with the two stones in the button area, and that for now leaves Cousins sitting shot rock. It opens up that center line as well. Burns sitting second, third, fourth, and fifth, though, and she does have access to shot stone. Going to try to make the hit and roll. Cousins is going to have a shot, though, after this. At the very least, she's got the hit on the stone that's just biting the 4-foot now, and roll in towards the side of the 4-foot. There's going to be a wall of red granite over there she can roll into, and a couple of guards she can roll behind. Burns makes the hit. Comes across onto her own stone. Still sitting just 4. She's got 6th shot as well. That blue stone at the back. Not likely to come back into play now. Elizabeth Cousins desperately needs the double here. She makes the double on the 2 and the 4-foot. Her shooter should stay mostly behind cover. She can almost make 3 reds go away here. She catches the red in the open, comes across with the shooter, catches the red on the other side of the 4-foot, and that stone might catch the stone in the just behind the tee line in the 8-foot at about the 9 o'clock position. Has to catch this first one fairly thin. If she's a little thick on it, she could go across the top of the second one, I think. At least enough that she doesn't get it out. She may just jam it on that stone in the 8-foot. really starting to curl now. They got to do some brushing to hold the line. This is going to be a little thick. She'll make the hit, comes across, just nudges it and spins up. Boy, difficult to tell who's shot right now. Might still be the burn stone, the red stone. That's what they're indicating. So Burns sitting shot right now. There's a piece of that blue stone available, so I think they have to guard that. There's the little tap available, blue onto red, and hold the shooter for 2. She'll need to take that away. She gets this guard to just touch the center line. She can be tight. That would leave Elizabeth Cousins only the wide in-turn draw. Line's good if it stops. This is really curling. Hoping there maybe for a touch on her own. I think it stopped in time. I don't think she can throw enough weight to move the blue, so it'll be just the draw. Draw to the button path here for Elizabeth Cousins. She needs full 4-foot to pick up her single. Down 4 as we play here in the 4th end. Cannot afford to give up another steal. Final stone. Elizabeth Cousins needs full 4-foot. Brushers check the watches and put the brushes down. Really just cleaning for now. Line looks good. Picking it up a little bit more aggressively now on the brush. This is really curling. She's got to get to the 4-foot. Don't know if this has got the speed. It's going to come up short. One more look around the outside, but it does look like it's another steal of 1 for Burns. She'll take a 6-1 lead into the 5th end of play. It'll be Cousins with last rock again in the 5th.
Hardline. Join the revolution.
Hey Canada, head on down to Montana's and get the best of both worlds. Enjoy our 7-ounce sirloin aged for 50 days, flame grilled and served with your choice of 2 sides and onion rings. Just $25.99 every day. Plus, for a limited time, add a Canadian lobster tail to surf your turf. Only $10 more. Dive into this or our lobster spinach dip, lobster mac and cheese, and more. Only for a limited time. Come for the barbecue, stay for the flavor. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
Fifth end action just underway. The first stone called for the top of the 4 foot, slides to the back 8. This allows Elizabeth Cousins to ask for the corner guard to start things off here in this fifth end. She needs to generate some offense. 24 teams in play here. The North Bay Granite Curling Club playing in 4 pools of 6 teams. You'll play 4 games within your pool and looking for 8 spots in the playoffs beginning Sunday. Pool A and Pool C on the ice here this afternoon. Pools B and D will get underway later on this evening, scheduled for 6:15 start Eastern Time, and then at 9:45, these same teams will be on the ice tonight. Burns sitting 2 now after the draw to the top 12, so Cousins with a chance to come around the corner guard. Janiak puts it up with her first one, trying to come around it now with her second. Nice line by the guard, and she will put that right on the tee line. It is shot rock. Buried. Krysta Burns having a little trouble counting to 5. Wanted to peel the guard. Can't do that yet. At least she's got 3 people that stopped her. I have actually seen over the last few years, I've seen a few teams go up to call that shot and nobody realized that it was still only the fifth shot of the end, and they actually play the peel and then everything goes back. So good awareness that somebody's counting. They're going to play a little tap up now, it looks like, on their own stone at the top 12 foot. Like to tap this straight back, get shot rock and cover it. It's going to over curl that. She'll just touch the edge of it. Cousins continues to be shot rock behind the corner guard. But those 3 stones, and most specifically the 2 at the top of the 12 foot, a little bit of concern for Cousins. So they're going to look for the hit and roll behind the corner. Might make the double on the back one. Can't really play the double on the 2 at the top of the house. She'd risk jamming it. This is really curling though. She's awfully close to the jam on the blue. Actually hits it thin enough, almost gets it over the top. Touches both the blues at the top of the 12. Her shooter carries through to the back 4, and Cousins sits 2. Shot rock open back of the 4 foot. The second shot stone now behind the tee line, but it is covered on the corner. Burns electing to play the hit on the shot stone back of the 4 foot. Can't over curl on this. There's a red stone back there they could jam on. It'll catch a piece of that red, but does remove them both from play. They probably won't mind losing the red stone. Does allow the opportunity for the Cousins team to try to hit and roll over to the open side, split their rocks up, and they'd be sitting good to pick up their deuce here. This looked tight out of her hand, though. This is really curling. They're going to have to go just to get a piece. Don't think they're going to be able to hold the shooter even if they do. Makes the hit. Will roll the shooter out of play. Krysta Burns now with the opportunity to peel that corner guard. Their guy with the hit. The shooter comes across, makes contact with their own stone, and actually will end up now in the back 12-foot. That's a rock that Elizabeth Cousins could elect to use later on. For now, they're going to guard shot rock. Gets the corner guard up, does leave probably half of that shot stone available from the outside. There's a little bit of risk going after it. Krysta Burns not interested in taking on any risks. She's going to play the guard. If you're a little thick on the guard, you might get them both. She did gesture for the double. She'd probably be happy with just the straight peel, too. She'd like to make some noise, though. It does just make contact with that stone and comes across and makes contact with that stone at the back 12 again. It's now half in the 8-foot. Cousins' stone continues to be shot rock, and they're going to guard it again. Well, we'll cover that stone in the back, but this time it slides into the 12-foot, so Krysta Burns likely going to take on the double here. Still looks like the way they gestured it. They'll try to go over the top. You try the straight back double. The danger there is if you ever just dead jam it, you probably leave it covered. So she's going to try to drive it across the face, catch the second blue stone. Depending on the weight she throws here, might even be able to make that double and hold the shooter somewhere in the rings to get the force. Line's close. She gets the front one, catches the second, actually a little too thick. We'll spill it over, though, and it's definitely the burnstone in the 8-foot that's shot rock. Hard to tell who's second because we can't really see the edge of the blue stone. If I had to guess from this angle, I think the blue is still second shot, though, so this is a hit to sit 2. And there would be no double available if she can stay here. Big shot for Elizabeth Cousins. She's down 5 here as we play in the 5th. 8-end game. If you can score 2 with the hammer here, that puts you 3 down with 3 ends to play. And as much as that's a tough ask, you still only have to steal 1 point at a time. That means the curler math works. You don't really have to reinvent anything to try to steal 1. Everybody's done it. Called the brush on early here. Has to hold the shooter somewhere in the rings. She's going to get to the inside a little bit. She makes the hit. Rolls across, does stay full back 8 foot. So Cousins sitting 2. Burns will have a chance to make a play on shot rock, try to roll behind her own stone at the top 12. At least make the shot for 2 very difficult. She's going to make the hit, but the shooter rolls out, so if Cousins is sitting 1, she must be, because she's looking at the draw. If she needed to hit that and roll in to get 2, she could. So a chance for Elizabeth Cousins with her final stone here in the 5th. Trailing by 5, can pick up 2 points here. She can be full 12 foot. Brusher's just cleaning it early. They have backed away now as it crosses the hog line. This is going to be a little strong. The question now, will it stop in time? It's in the back 8, into the back 12, and it does stop. Full back 12. Elizabeth Cousins gets 2 points here in the 5th end of play. She closes to within 6-3. It'll be Krysta Burns with last rock in the 6th.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Don't forget the brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. What do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one little, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Shawn Joyce with you here live from the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel, North Bay, Ontario. Krysta Burns with a 6-3 lead over Elizabeth Cousins as we begin play here in the 6th end. Burns with last rock, and Cousins looking for a center guard to start things off. Ends up well off the center line. Laura Masters looking to come around that guard. She's got a lot of room coming by. It's going to stop, full forefoot. Cousins looking to hit that. You know, she's down 3 without here. This is a situation where you might be tempted to throw a second guard. Really tough to think you're going to steal without a guard on the center line. It can happen, but it's not easy. Makes the hit, actually rolls past the guard out into the edge of the 12-foot. That'll give Burns the chance to play the hit. Makes the hit. Probably would like to stay right there. In this case, it's going to roll over towards that guard, and it's just behind the tee line. Cousins' first thought is to hit that stone, and I think she should leave it there. It's behind the tee line. You draw around the guard. That's a stone that actually can help you. Just gets by the guard. She'll make the hit. Stays right there. She is shot rock. Krysta Burns this time took a quick look over the shoulder. I think she was counting to 5, and now they're going to play the guard. You can get the double, but if she just straight peels the guard, that's a pretty good result. This is really curling. Doesn't want to over curl and maybe leave the guard there, which she does. Drives it by the stone in the rings. Yeah, they're looking at throwing the second guard. You got to be really careful with this because you're trying to get a guard closer to center. The problem with that is you leave a stagger on the first two. Krysta Burns is going to try the double peel, and it might come back into the rings and get everything. It would be tempting to just pile another one in the rings here. Chance they could leave this really long and try to line it up the two guards. That's not a bad result either. They might have overswept for that, though. They're going to leave the two of them pretty close together. Now, there is some risk for Krysta Burns if she wants to play the double peel. She'll have to play the blue into the red, and there's a chance it spins into the rings. But I think with a 3-point lead in last rock, they'll probably give it a go. Well, playing the in-turn, but that's not a lot of ice. She might still be trying to cross it. Oh, just playing a straight peel on the corner, or on the blue guard. Roll the shooter across and out of play. After the little bump on the last attempt, that red guard not in front of shot rock now, so they'll look to cover up the shot stone. Puts the guard back at about the same place. The same risk for Krysta Burns if she tries to hit anything on the center line side. She's going to take a pass at it this time, though. Looking for the double on the blues. If she's a little thin on the first one, might get the double peel. The only way she really hurts herself here is if she's very thin on the first one, it'll jam the blue into the red. Could spin it into the rings. Nothing out of the brushers. This needs to curl. Does jam it into the red and does spill it into the rings. That might spin into the forefoot yet. Look briefly at covering the same stone, but this stone's a little bit higher. If you don't guard this one, there's a double available on the blues. So guarding the one that was just spun into the rings, it's only second shot, but can't leave the double there. Still needs to curl if it's going to cover any of that rock. It's going to leave it just fully out in the open. Well, decision time now for Krysta Burns, because if you hit one of the stones in the rings, you have to expect that Elizabeth Cousins is going to come around that guard. So she's going to make the play on the guard, running it on the angle to try to catch the stone at the 3 o'clock position. See if you can't get a double here. At the very least, straight peel the guard. Makes the hit on the guard, drives it by everything in the rings, rolls the shooter out of play. Cousins sits 2. And we'll once again look to cover the second shot stone. Has to protect against that double. It's flat, but it's there. There's not a lot of room between the rocks. 3.5 feet. Just skip stones left to come. We'll play this through. If you throw the guard here, Burns probably plays that same peel attempt to try to get the double. If she misses the second stone, the question is you can't guard both of them if you're Elizabeth Cousins. Do you try to bring another one to the top of the forefoot in the center line and hope for a rollout? You might even be able to steal 2 here. Gets a little bit better guard on that second stone. There is also the possibility Krysta Burns decides to hit shot rock, knowing she's going to have something relatively open right now for her last one. Hit shot rock, you know that Elizabeth Cousins is probably going to have to hit it again. Mind you, if she makes the roll behind cover, you're drawing to the forefoot against 2. Talking about rolling all the way across the forefoot behind cover themselves, that's going to be risky. She's going to be at the tee line, if not behind it. So looking to make the hit on shot stone. Now they talked about rolling. I don't know if they settled on that or not. If they are, they're playing the intern so they get the flatter roll. They'll try and stay in front of the tee line. It's going to be tough to roll behind the guard and still be in front of the tee line. Definitely wants to be shot rock after this. You want to make Elizabeth Cousins have to make a play on this stone. And this is still outside the nose. He's trying to curl. She's going to make the hit, but stays for second shot in the 8-foot. Elizabeth Cousins should be looking to draw. And she's not. Going to try to roll just a little bit to the open side. Try to convince Krysta Burns to go after this stone. The thinking here is that if you hit and roll to the broom side a little bit, Krysta Burns doesn't want to draw against two. She's going to have to hit the open stone, and very tough for her to roll all the way for shot rock, so she might be conceding a single if she does that. On the brush early. She's not going to get the roll away, so they might be going to plan B now. Try to roll big behind the corner. They're just going to roll full 4-foot. Krysta Burns can hit that right on the nose. She'll pick up her single point. Final stone for Krysta Burns here, 6th end. Facing 2, needs to hit and stay right there. Camera freezing up adds a little suspense for us. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We'll be up right away here. This is not the quietest takeout attempt you've ever seen. Cameras are frozen just a little bit here. We're working to get it back for you. as you can see, Krysta Burns made that final shot, picked up her single point. She's got the 7-3 lead here as we begin play in the 7th end, and this is the 5th stone of the end. First 2 for the Burns team brought into the 4-foot area. Cousins has corner guards on either side. Now she's going to look to make a play on shot rock. Doesn't necessarily need to kill anything here, but would like to get this one behind the tee line. You saw the indication, might be able to make the big roll in behind the corner guard. Line looked really tight out of her hands, but she's got some weight here. Line's holding. Makes the hit. Jams it on the back stone, leaves it in the back button, but her shooter stays in a good spot. Krysta Burns probably wondering why she threw the center guard at all now, but a chance to throw at least a peel on the corner. I thought she might go over to the other side. If she's thin enough on the corner guard, she comes across and gets that stone out of the top of the 8-foot. Looks like they're just going to play the straight peel on the guard and the it'll be at the thrower's right side of the sheet. Makes the hit. Shooter rolls all the way across and out of play. Cousins' first thought was to play around the corner, and that's probably the right call. Any of these other shots she's looking at are just going to group the blue stones, and one double and her end is gone. Nice line between the guards. They can afford to be deep on this if they have to. Gets a little better than half behind cover. Cousins sitting second and third right now. No easy removal for Burns either. The stone just delivered is partly behind cover. The second shot stone at the top of the 8-foot, there's a risk of a jam. Just going to peel the corner guard. And this is the one coming from this side. If they're thin on the peel, they might come across and kill that stone at the top of the 8-foot. As soon as they've got a piece here, they should be on this. Just played the straight peel all the way. Could have been on that. If she catches a little thinner, she will make at least contact with that stone at the top of the 8-foot, and that would take away the jam risk. Cousins' first thought was to throw up the corner guard, protect the third shot rock. I don't mind playing that one time. She's going to make a play on shot rock, though, coming around on the in-turn side. Doesn't necessarily need to kill it. Even a dead freeze here is pretty good. Line here is tight early, though. They have to get it by the guard. They're not going to. Hoping to at least hang on to guard the Third shot on the corner. It rolls just a little bit past that, and there's a double available on the Blues. Sarah guy with the big weight here, a little bit of extension, a lot of rotation. This is going to be close to the double. Makes the hit, comes across, touches the back end of that stone. Her shooter will carry through. Just moves the blue stone over. It's probably half behind the guard now, sticking out on the outturn side, or pardon me, the intern side. And Elizabeth Cousins will call for the come around on the corner guard on the other side. I like this call, ignoring that shot stone. This is her chance to maybe set up for 3 here, which would be outstanding. I mean, you've got to score 2, but even that, you're still looking to steal 2 in the 8th. If you can get a chance to set up 3 here, you're right back in this, playing the 8th end. Makes a nice come around, gets that into the 8-foot. Second shot. Puts some pressure now on Krysta Burns to make a decision. Can't see all of either blue stone. Not likely to want to draw here. You give up a chance at a double, it would be a 3. They're looking at the chase, I think, on that stone. It is their own corner guard. They could run it back, too. The danger with the chase, if you ever just get the tickle on the guard, don't really move it out of the way. 4 would be in play. They're going to try to go after the one that was just thrown. Is going to be on the guard, but solidly enough on the guard to at least open up the second shot stone, and actually gets very fortunate, spills in and sits for 3rd. So if Cousins is going to keep 3 alive, she's going to have to make a play on that stone. Concede the hit to Burns on her last one, and you're hoping she leaves you a double. If you hit the stone in the back now and try to roll behind, I'm not sure where Burns could leave you a double. That's the problem with hitting the stone at the back of the button right now. Still have a shot for 2. But I think you have to keep your 3 alive. You hit the stone in the 12-foot. I don't see how Burns doesn't leave you a double. It might be a tough double, but it'll still be possible. I'm not sure you're going to have a double if you hit this one first. So Elizabeth Cousins with her first, going after the shot stone, back of the button. Makes the hit, stays right there. Burns will have a chance to make the hit on shot rock. Now, they gestured that they were going to try to roll behind. That's the only way you give her a shot for 3. I think you want to stay right there or roll a bit broomside. You can give her 2 here. You just don't want to give her the shot for 3. Krysta Burns with her final, without last rock here, facing 2. Looking to hit. Shot rock. Boy, and this is curling. She's going to roll towards her own. It does stop for shot rock, but it's left the double for 3. Well, for Elizabeth Cousins, this is a huge shot. They really haven't had much go their way in this game. This is a chance to pick up 3 and put herself right in the game, playing the 8th end. Needs to curl just a sliver past the nose, catch the stone at the back of the 8 foot on the way by, and she can pick up her 3 points, get right back in this game. Brushes are close. This needs to curl. It's close. Started to move. Are they going to be able to hold the line? It actually is going to curl enough that it dead jams the stone at the back. She will roll across, does pick up her single, but it's just the 1 point, and that's going to leave Krysta Burns up 3 with last rock. If they play the 8th, they're going to have a quick talk about it. Looks like they are going to play it out, so when we come back, it'll be Krysta Burns with last rock and a 3-point lead here at North Bay.
Hey Canada, there's something smoking new at Montana's. Beef brisket is now seasoned and then slow smoked in-house for 12 hours every day. Try it in our new Austin cheesesteak sandwich and other barbecue favorites. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Spiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue.
And while we were in the break, Elizabeth Cousins decided 3 down without. A little bit too overwhelming to play the last end, especially knowing that both teams have to be on the ice later tonight. So they have conceded victory. Krysta Burns will pick up the win here in the opening round. Round-robin competition here from the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel will continue on. 2 more draws yet today, and action on all day tomorrow. Playoffs on Sunday. Top 8 teams advance to the playoffs. My name's Shawn, Joyce. We will have all of the action for you here on the Curling Stadium Network. There will be all of the games being streamed and commentary on selected features all weekend long. So join us again. It's 6:15 start, I believe, scheduled for the next draw, 6:15 Eastern Time. And another draw at 9:45 tonight. We'll have all the action tonight and all day tomorrow, leading through to those playoffs on Sunday.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
'Tis the season to enjoy Swiss Chalet's festive special. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. Your favorite tradition, the festive special. Only $17.99, only at Swiss Chalet.